What's going on, y'all? This is John Alsace with Facemask Fantasy. We got new up-to-date fantasy content coming your way every day on this channel, so if you have not subscribed already, then please hit that button. But before we get into our main topic for today, my co-host Nick Payne put in a ton of work to give you guys a free 2021 Redraft draft kit available on our website, which can be found at facemaskpod.com. It's a great piece of content, something that other analysts might be charging you for, but we're giving it to you for free. So without further ado, let's get into some fantasy talk, and today we're going to talk the New Orleans Saints running back room because Latavius Murray was just released after apparently the team asked him to take a pay cut and he refused. But now behind Alvin Kamara, it's Ty Montgomery, Dwayne Washington, and Tony Jones Jr. And I think this is incredibly huge for Tony Jones Jr. moving forward. Latavius Murray was the RB32 last year in 15 games on the back of 146 rushes and 26 receptions. He's had 146 rushes exactly in the past 2 seasons each for New Orleans, and in 2019 he had 43 targets, while in 2020 he only picked up 26. Is some of that work just going to go back to Alvin Kamara, further boosting his role in 2021? Absolutely. But I think Tony Jones Jr. has the opportunity to take this role and run with it. No pun intended. Tony Jones Jr. showed out early in this past preseason. In the first preseason game for the Saints, he rushed for 82 yards and a touchdown on 7 carries while hauling in 5 catches for 38 yards. And he continued his strong play throughout the preseason, eventually doing enough to where Latavius Murray was deemed expendable by the team. Tony Jones Jr. was signed as an undrafted free agent after the draft last year in 2020, and while Jones failed to make the 53-man roster for the Saints as an undrafted free agent in 2020, he landed on the practice squad as the only running back on the Saints practice squad to begin the season. Kamara's role is set in stone until 2025. He's not going anywhere. His role is not going anywhere. Ty Montgomery is just a guy at this point, and same with Dwayne Johnson. If Tony Jones Jr. can pick up this Latavius Murray role and get those 146 touches on the ground, he can absolutely get 600 plus yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, which is what Latavius Murray got last year. Once again, Latavius Murray was the RB32 last season, and in 2019 he was the RB30. Latavius Murray, in his role for the Saints, was always a handcuff to Alvin Kamara, but in games where Alvin Kamara was not available for these Saints, Latavius Murray seemingly always put up spot RB1 weeks in his stead. So in the event that Alvin Kamara were to go down this year, Tony Jones Jr. would have an incredible role all to himself, a role that has netted Latavius Murray RB1 weeks in the past. I think in fantasy, what you should be expecting from Tony Jones Jr. is something approximating what Gus Edwards was for the past 2 seasons before last season. Last season, he had an uptick in touchdowns. Before that, he averaged 700 yards every season for 2 seasons and had a yards per carry average above 5, but scored 2 touchdowns each in 2018 and 2019 apiece, before in 2020 shooting up to 6. I don't know if Tony Jones Jr. is going to get to 6 touchdowns. He absolutely could in this offense, but I think it might be closer to 2. Even so, that's still incredibly valuable. You're looking at RB3 value for absolutely nothing right now. And in season-long leagues, he is almost free. He has an ADP right now of 201, the RB60 going off the board. The past 2 seasons, the role he's potentially walking into has netted Latavius Murray RB31 and RB30 finishes. So obviously, this has the look of an incredible value. Right now, he is only rostered in 65% of sleeper leagues, so there's a 35% chance that he is available right now for you to pick him up. Again, RB3 value with the chance to be an RB2 if Alvin Kamara were to ever miss time. And I don't think this needs to be said again, but this is a slight boost for Alvin Kamara as well. So what do you guys think about this news, Latavius Murray being cut, what this means for the rest of the depth chart behind Alvin Kamara and for Alvin Kamara himself? Let me know if you are intrigued by Tony Jones Jr. in the comment section below, or let me know if you think this is fool's gold. Thank you for listening. My name is John Alsace, and this is Facemask Fantasy. We bring you new up-to-date fantasy content every day right here on this channel, so if you have not subscribed already, please hit that button. Thank you for listening and have a great day.